Yeah.
Pat Riley's not going to lose. Jimmy just wasted money. I mean, he's lost $3 million.
Be professional and, do things that you're supposed to do. So by the letter of the law, he disobeyed the
Jimmy Butler is no stranger to the spotlight, but this time, it's not for his game-winning shots or clutch performances. Instead, it's for all the wrong reasons. In a move that's left fans and analysts buzzing, the Miami Heat have suspended Butler for the second time in just 3 weeks. The question on everyone's mind, what's really going on with Jimmy Butler? This isn't just another story about an NBA player breaking the rules. It's about a superstar whose passion and intensity often walk a fine line between leadership and chaos. Why was Butler suspended? What's happening behind the scenes? And could this spell the beginning of the end for his time in Miami? Stick around as we break down the drama, the numbers, and what's next for one of the NBA's most polarizing stars. Jimmy Butler was suspended by the Miami Heat after missing a team flight. The official reason? Conduct detrimental to the team. This isn't the first time Butler's actions have landed him in hot water, but this recent suspension has reignited debates about his commitment to the Heat. What made this incident worse was the timing. Just hours after the suspension was announced, Butler was spotted at a high-profile dinner event in Miami, rubbing elbows with celebrities. For a player already under scrutiny, the optics couldn't have been worse. Fans and analysts were quick to criticize, with some calling it a blatant display of indifference toward his team.
And another suspension for Jimmy Butler, Shaq.
So, there's letter of the law and spirit of the law. I'm not going to disrespect Jimmy. Don't really know him well, but I'm not going to disrespect him. I know there's some tension going on.
Jimmy Butler's career has been as much about drama as it has been about basketball brilliance. From his early days with the Chicago Bulls to his stints in Minnesota and Philadelphia, Butler has cultivated a reputation for being both a passionate leader and a divisive figure. Who can forget the infamous 2018 Timberwolves practice? Butler reportedly led a scrimmage with third-string players and dominated the team's starters, all while trash-talking the coaching staff and front office. The message was clear. Butler didn't feel his teammates matched his intensity, and he wasn't afraid to say so. In Philadelphia, Butler helped the Sixers reach the playoffs, but reportedly clashed with coach Brett Brown over the team's offensive schemes. His time in Philly was short-lived as the team decided to focus on Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. When Butler joined the Heat in 2019, it seemed like a match made in heaven. Miami's Heat culture, built on toughness and work ethic, aligned perfectly with Butler's mentality. He led the team to the NBA Finals in 2020, cementing his status as one of the league's top players. But as the years have gone on, cracks have started to show. Before diving into the off-court drama, it's essential to evaluate Butler's on-court performance. Statistically, Butler is having a solid season, averaging 21.7 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, 5.4 assists per game, 2.1 steals per game. These numbers place him among the league's most versatile players. Butler's ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor is unmatched. Whether it's scoring in the clutch, locking down the opposing team's best player, or setting up his teammates, he remains the centerpiece of the Miami Heat. However, the Heat have struggled as a team this season. Injuries, inconsistent play, and a lack of depth have left them hovering around the middle of the Eastern Conference standings. With the team underperforming, Butler's off-court issues have only amplified the frustration. Jimmy Butler's suspension raises broader questions about his relationship with the Miami Heat.
By the letter of the law, he disobeyed the letter of the law, which shows a little bit of unprofessionalism.
While Butler has been the heart and soul of the team since his arrival, his recent actions suggest growing tension. Reports have surfaced that Butler has expressed frustration with the team's lack of moves to bolster the roster, and some insiders speculate he may even want out of Miami.
Going to fly separately on private charter, and he will join the team in Milwaukee. But before he even got a chance to do so, I'm told the Heat called him and informed him to stay home, that they don't want him there, and they were suspending him for 2 games on this quick 2-game road trip.
Coach Erik Spoelstra addressed the situation, saying, "If you're going to be around Jimmy, you have to understand his passion. It's what makes him great, but it's also what makes things challenging at times." While Spoelstra's comments seem supportive, they also hint at the difficulties of managing a player as intense as Butler. The Heat's front office now faces a critical decision: continue to navigate the highs and lows with Butler, or explore trade options. Jimmy Butler's suspension wasn't just about missing a flight. It's part of a broader pattern of behavior that has raised eyebrows.
You're not helping yourself. Mark Andrews and the Baltimore Ravens is a different animal. But there's no question that even though it's understandable, it's unprofessional.
Beyond the high-profile dinner event following his suspension, Butler has been spotted engaging in activities that some see as distractions. Butler's social media presence has been buzzing, with posts ranging from workout videos to playful trolling of teammates. While most of it is harmless fun, critics argue that it shows a lack of focus during a tumultuous time for the team. Off the court, Butler has been heavily involved in his coffee brand, Big Face Coffee. While it's commendable for athletes to pursue business interests, some fans feel Butler's entrepreneurial focus may be detracting from his commitment to basketball. Jimmy Butler has always been a polarizing figure, and this latest incident has only deepened the divide among fans. Supporters argue that Butler's passion and intensity are what make him great. They point to his 2020 Finals performance as proof that he's willing to leave everything on the court. Critics counter that his behavior is selfish and detrimental to team chemistry, especially during a season where the Heat need leadership more than ever. Social media has been ablaze with takes, with hashtags like #JimmyDrama and #Heat culture trending. The debate boils down to a simple question. Does Butler's talent outweigh the headaches that come with him? The Miami Heat now face a crucial crossroads. Butler is under contract for several more years, but if the relationship continues to deteriorate, a trade could be on the horizon. Moving Butler wouldn't be easy, given his salary and the potential backlash from fans, but it's not off the table. For Butler, the stakes are high. Another suspension or public misstep could tarnish his legacy as one of the league's fiercest competitors. On the flip side, if he can channel his energy into leading the Heat back to contention, he could cement his place among the NBA's elite. The Miami Heat's performance this season hasn't matched expectations. Injuries to key players like Tyler Herro and inconsistent contributions from the bench have left the team struggling to stay competitive. While Butler's numbers remain solid, the team's overall record highlights a lack of cohesion and depth. This context matters because Butler's frustration seems tied to the Heat's inability to compete at a championship level. Without meaningful roster upgrades, the tension between Butler and the organization may only grow. Jimmy Butler's leadership style has always been polarizing. He demands excellence and isn't afraid to call out teammates who don't meet his standards. While this approach has driven success in the past, most notably during the Heat's 2020 Finals run, it can also create friction. In a locker room filled with younger players or veterans who aren't used to Butler's intensity, his style can come across as abrasive. Balancing his fiery competitiveness with team harmony is one of the biggest challenges for the Heat. If the Miami Heat decide to explore trade options, finding a suitor for Butler won't be easy. His contract is sizable, and his reputation as a challenging personality could deter some teams. However, for franchises in need of a star player with a win-now mentality, Butler's talent could outweigh the risks. Potential landing spots could include teams like the Dallas Mavericks, who need a strong defensive presence alongside Luka Doncic, or the Los Angeles Clippers, who are always on the lookout for another star to bolster their roster. Jimmy Butler's career has always been a roller coaster of highs and lows. His talent is undeniable, but his passion often walks the fine line between leadership and chaos. This latest suspension is just another chapter in the story of one of the NBA's most fascinating players. Whether Butler stays in Miami or moves on to another team, one thing is certain: wherever he goes, the drama and the brilliance will follow. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on the NBA's most intriguing stories.